Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to my Bound for Glory 2019 review. I am just arriving back from the Odeum Expo Center. I was at Bound for Glory Live. I do have the shirt. Listen, I was there. It was in my neck of the woods of Chicago, Illinois. Hopefully, this video will be up sometime by tonight, but I'm still hyped up. I still got a lot of energy. I just got home not that long ago. Pretty much took me an hour to get back. And I want to talk about a lot about the show. A lot was going on here tonight. Very great crowd, full house. I'm not going to go into the whole travel thing, how I got there, because that'll probably take a bit of a story to get through. Not long, but I'm not going to go into that right now. But like I said, I decided to go there. It is their biggest show of the year. It's the only time they're really going to be in Chicago this year. So why not take advantage and go to the show? And that's what I did. I had some good seats out there. I pretty much was able to see everything. The Odeum, it's my first time going to the Odeum Expo Center. I know Ring of Honor does a lot of their shows out there. But this was a full house. It was sold out, as they said. When I got there, I almost thought it wasn't. But once they kind of hit by the 7 o'clock mark, the crowd was full. And it was a very hot crowd throughout the entire night. And I got there when one of the pre-show matches was going on. I don't think this was televised, if I believe, because I may go back to look at the show just to see how things sounded on commentary. But you know, when I got there, I saw Madison Rayne go against Shotzi Blackheart. I believe she is signed with NXT now, if I'm not mistaken, because William Regal offered her a contract recently at a Evolve show. But it was good for what I saw with you know, Madison and Shotzi. People were pretty much into it, though. I know Kiera Hogan was out on commentary, but on commentary and everything, but it was a good match. I know a lot of people said that they should have signed Shotzi Blackheart. She has been seen on Impact before, but I think NXT have already kind of gotten to her at this point, so I don't know if she's going to be, I think that's not going to happen. I don't know if she's on her final indie dates or anything, but it was a good match what I saw. One match that was advertised but was not on the main show, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to be saying that while watching the show tonight, but you know, since I was there, they had the Rascals going against Dr. Wagner Jr., Errol Star, and Taurus. That was a match, you know, advertised for this show, even though there was really no hype to it. And I know the Rascals haven't really said anything. They've also been losing on Impact recently, then winning, to be honest. And they have a match at Bound for Glory, but you know, they had a match in general. But this was kind of a spot fest, really. It wasn't bad or anything. The fans were into it. It just, why did you advertise for the main show if you were just going to put on the pre-show so where no one could see it, then only just the people in the building was able to was only able to see the event itself. I'm sorry, the match itself. So why would you put on a pre-show? And I don't even think the pre-show was televised, so I don't know, but that I just kind of found it weird that it was bumped to the pre-show at the last minute for whatever reason was. The Rascals went over. I know Dez and I think Trade, or was it Wentz, they did that, you know, they throw one of them in the air and Dez pushed one of them into a moonsault on Errol Star for the win, and, you know, they shook hands after. So that was kind of in from that match. But it was pretty good, spot fest, but it was enjoyable. But we did kick off the main show. They got the crowd hyped up, and what did we kick it off after the intro of Bound for Glory? And I heard this, you know, I heard Josh and Don Callis say it was a sold-out show. We kicked it off with the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match, which whoever wins this match, man or woman, will receive a future title shot from anyone in, you know, in the company in general. So they would just get a future title shot at any title. But number one was Eddie Edwards. If you want to know why Eddie Edwards is number one, if you watched the show last Thursday, he was involved in that gauntlet to get into this Battle Royale to be number 20. He was number one, so he was the first one out there. Next, number two was Adam Thornstone of Reno Scum, and Lust of the Legend was number 3. 4 was Jake Diener was number 4. Rohit Raju was number 5, which I am kind of surprised he was in this Battle Royale. I am going to get more of that when the ladder match comes into play, but I'm going to save that for later. He was number 5 in the match. Number 6. I got to say something about this one. Joey Ryan. Which he got a big pop. He got a big reaction. I was there. Fans were nuts for him. Now, what did you expect was going to happen when he got in the ring? Of course. His dick. You knew it was going to come. And next thing you know, and this looks ridiculous to me. And I've already said my piece on Joey Ryan before, but what they had, Rohit there put his hand on Joey Ryan's dick, but then it's like they all form this train that everyone is touching each other's dick in. And this is all true, okay? I was there live to see it, and some people got a kick out of this, and they loved it, and they popped big for it. Because pretty much Joey Ryan did his whole, dick, power thing. He's powering up for it. And the next thing you know, he flips like all 5 of these guys and eliminates, Rohit Raju and Jake Diener out of the ring. Listen, personally, I think this whole dick shit is fucking ridiculous, okay? Listen, I found it funny at first. I said this during my All In review last year. Like, I thought it was funny at first. But now he just relies on this stuff. Like, I'm surprised AEW didn't sign Joey Ryan. He's always on being the elite, but I don't know if they were going to be playing for all that. And I don't know if it's true that Joey Ryan signed a contract with Impact. I'm not sure how true that is and that. That's what I've been hearing on, I was looking at Twitter when I got back in my home, but I don't know how true that is. I have to look that up all the way, but personally, I just found the dick thing ridiculous, and anyone that probably saw this clip or just saw the show in general probably would have wanted to turn, because it says, "What am I watching? What everybody's putting their hands on someone else's dick, so this one guy can use his dick to flip everyone else." It looks ridiculous to me. Like I said before, fans look like they liked it there. I'm not really the biggest fan of it. Okay, I thought it was funny at first, but this is honestly what Joey Ryan just depends on. I feel like he just goes. That's his shtick. That's just what he does, and people like it. I'm not really a big fan of it, but people like this type of stuff. But I even said to myself, like, how much belief are we gonna suspend here in this? Because this just looks fucking ridiculous. Okay, it just looks fucking stupid. And I'm sure someone's gonna show this clip to Jim Cornette, and he'll probably lose his shit. Or any wrestling fan that, even I saw some people that were the building that were recording this. They found it just either embarrassed or they just thought it was fucking stupid. But moving on from the ridiculousness of the Joey Ryan bullshit dick thing, number 7 was Jessica Havoc, who immediately got in the ring and chokeslammed him. Number 8 was Rosemary, which they had a face-off, but Joey Ryan poured oil over himself. They both clotheslined him. Number 9 was Madman Fulton. Looks bigger in person, pretty much taking down both Havoc and Rosemary with a clothesline. Fans seem to be pissed by it. Pretty much Fulton also eliminated Thornstone. He even threw Joey Ryan out then. Also, 10 was Cody Deaner, who was in there for a second, but Fulton immediately got rid of him. Number 11 was Johnny Swinger, who never really got into the ring. 12 was Jordan Grace, pretty much taking down everybody at one point. Fans did chant for Grace out there. Number 13, Swoggle was in the ring then, who came from under the ring and pretty much chased Johnny Swinger into the ring. Swinger, I don't know, Swinger was pretty much in there. I believe he slapped Jordan Grace on the ass after Swoggle bit him in it. She pretty much slapped him. Swoggle hit a German suplex on Swinger, and Swoggle threw him out and eliminated him then. Number 14, who was number 14? I'm trying to remember who was 14 out there. 14 was Kiera Hogan, who really didn't last out there that long. She had a face-off with Jordan Grace when I was out there. Pretty much Swoggle bit her in the ass. She kind of twerked at him a little. Let me say one thing too, man. Her ass looked bigger in person. Yeah, I gotta say, it sucks that she swing the other way, but damn, man, her ass looked good in person. I don't care if you hate on me for not saying that. That shit just looked big as fuck big. I'm sorry, but her ass looked great in person though. All right, I just don't know why they just kind of had her out there and just immediately got eliminated by Jordan Grace after they did something with Swoggle. That was kind of ridiculous with me, just to have Kiera Hogan do that. But I don't know. 15 was Raj Singh. 16 was Tommy Dreamer. He had a big pop. ECW chants all over the place. Dreamer is everywhere. Dreamer started taking everybody out. He even spit in Fulton's face with some water or pop or something. He took out Lester Legend. Number 17, who got a very big reaction. Who got a very big reaction though. Kylie Rae, number 17. I believe she left it, yeah, because she left AEW recently. I never know why she left AEW to begin with and why AEW released Kylie Rae, but people were surprised to see Kylie Rae, and they pretty much gave her a big pop out there. But well, they said she was on an Impact event the night before anyway. She was advertised for that. I don't know if she signed Impact Wrestling or anything. I know Kylie Rae is from here, if I believe, but I don't think she is signed, if I'm not mistaken. It would be good if they signed Kylie Rae, because I never know why she left AEW to begin with, or why she was released. When I was at All Out, I believe they had an interview with Tony Khan after saying she was released and everything, but I never really figured out why she was released. But it was surprised to see Kylie Rae out there. She had a big pop, I will say that. They all started taking down Fulton then, which was pretty funny. But, Roger eliminated Tommy Dreamer then. Fulton. No, Roger got eliminated by Tommy Dreamer. And then Fulton eliminated Tommy Dreamer right after. Number 18 was Falaba, who pretty much came in, hit a big Samoan drop on Fulton from midair, which looked pretty cool. So, Ba had the Ba thing. 19, Sabu had the Super Genie with him. Of course, this man starts throwing chairs to the face, especially at Fulton. And even at, Ba and Eddie, of course, he kind of got lost for a second, wondering, who was he supposed to hit next with a chair. But, hey, that's Sabu for you, because he did his little poetry and motion thing also off the chair, too. Number 20 was Mahabala Sheridan. Of course, he's number 20 because he won that match on the Battle Royale last Friday on Impact. Gama was out there with him. Pretty much Sheer was able to take out both Kylie Rae and Jordan Grayston. He even took out Sabu when he pretty much caught him after he jumped off the chair. And then the final 4 people were Eddie Edwards, followed by Madman Fulton and Shera. But Ba got eliminated by Sheridan as he threw him out. Pretty much Fulton and Shera went at it for a second, but Eddie pretty much ran the ropes, taking him down with a clothesline. Then Fulton pulled Eddie from outside of the ring and beat him up, because this was a regular match as soon as it gets to the final entrance then, but it was pretty quick because they were both in the ring. Shearer pretty much picked him up. He threw Eddie back in, pretty much telling him to get up, but Eddie hit him with a Boston Knee Parry, which I thought they were already trying to rebuild Shearer, but I didn't think they were going to have him lose to Eddie out here. But then again, I guess in a way it's like 50-50 booking. Eddie Edwards ended up winning the match, which I figured he was going to win just because he was kind of nearly the last one that won on Friday, but then, he's in the first, he's number 1, he's pretty much back the final 2 of him and Shearer again, so I guess he was going to go over and he'll get a title shot now, but people did like the Battle Royale. It was some good surprises like Kylie Rae and, Swoggle out there. Joey Ryan, I guess, was a nice pop if you like the dick thing and that. I find it ridiculous, but it's dumb as shit, but, people still liked it. There were some surprises in the Battle Royale that people were excited to see, or, ECW legends, Tommy Dreamer. Well, Tommy Dreamer is always there, or Sabu in general. But, it was some fun surprises. But Eddie winning the match, I kind of figured it was going to happen. This was almost nearly 30 minutes, by the way. So, they were really going over with the time with this. Taya then, went against Tennille Dashwood for the Knockouts Championship. Very pro Taya crowd. When I was there, there was Tennille fans too, but I feel it was more Taya fans. This was a very good match, I will say that. When it kind of got towards the end of it, though, what was it? I think Tennille hit that Shining Wizard or the Splash Point or something, or the Snapshot on Taya, but Johnny Bravo pulled Taya's legs on, not Taya, but Tennille's legs on the ropes, which the referee. Taya's legs it was, I believe, on the rope. So the referee threw out Bravo. Pretty much there was a steel chain in there with Taya in. She was going to hit Tennille with it, but Tennille dodged it. And, pretty much tried to roll her up. It did not work. She got the chain in. but she decided to throw it away because she didn't want to cheat. She tried to go for her finish again, but Taya dodged it, hit her with the roll to Valhalla, as Taya still retained the title. I saw this coming. I didn't think Tenille needed the win right now because, A, I don't think Tenille has been really that over since she's been back in the company as a face, and it would make no sense putting on the belt on her right now at Bound for Glory. Maybe at a later date, but I don't think it was a good idea putting the belt on her right now because I'm sure a lot of people thought, oh, it's a WWE cast-off coming in, taking the belt from someone again. So to continue this Taya 281 day, is it 281 days? 7-day reign for Taya Valkyrie. It's best to just keep it going. I don't think it's time for her to get the belt off of her yet. So I figured Taya was still going to retain the championship one way or another. The finish itself was kind of whatever, even though, you know, she just kind of like an idiot, just like, oh, I'm going to use the chain, but I'm not going to use the chain. I'm going to do it in the honorable way. But then she still ended up losing a couple seconds later then. But it didn't really make no sense that Tenille even got a title shot after she just kind of got in the company not that long. Did a couple matches, and now she's getting a title shot. But, you know, Taya winning was honestly the most logical thing you could think of. Next, triple threat tag team title match. The North, Rich Swann and the Mac, and Rob Van Dam and Rhino. I like this match. Of course, RVD is over because it's Rob Van Dam. I did like this match a lot. In a way, it was a spot fest, but you can see several times when Van Dam did not look pleased because, what was it? RVD was gonna go for a, well, I don't know, it was like a top, was it not a frog splash, but, he was gonna go for It was going to go for 5-star frog splash, but it did not work. And I think Swann had got in on that. He pretty much got in taking his spot because RVD was about to go for another move, but he just kind of sat there confused, like, what is this? Pretty much, you know, Swann and I think Rhino were going at it then at one point. Swann and Mac, man, though, that's just a great team. These guys just go freaking crazy. I will say that, especially on the North and Van Dam and Rhino. Swann with these kicks, man, just look crazy. And the Mac, like, it's like a lot of people say, a man that his size is just moving like a cruiserweight out there is insane. But as the match went on, what they did, like it was a good double team move they did on the Mac, but it was a kick out then. Swann was like he was on the rope. RVD and Rhino got in the ring. There's one thing I noticed that RVD was going to go for a 5-star frog splash, but the North had stopped him. Well, Alexander did when he was going to go for one, but Mac hit his own 5-star frog splash, and once again, RVD just looked very confused of what was going on at one point. But when Rhino and RVD get back in the ring, Rhino was going to go for a gore, but next you know, RVD kicked him in the head. I was actually kind of surprised at that. I don't think anybody saw this finish coming or just this heel turn in general, but Van Dam just kicked his own partner in the head. Fans start to boo him then. He pretty much takes out Swann and Mac, and then with like crazy spinning heel kicks and roundhouse kicks in, taking him out. Pretty much, you know, throwing, was that hair thing in his head, the ponytail thing, just to throw it at Rhino then, yelling at him and stuff. The North ended up hitting that finisher on Swann for the win, so the North still retained the tag team titles, which, you know, I have no problem with that. Keep the North looking strong. Did I think the titles were going to go on Swann and Mac? In a way, I kind of thought they were going to win, but RVD turning heel, that threw me really left field, to be honest, because I don't think anybody expected that coming. And honestly, it's probably the most noticeable thing RVD has done ever since he's came back to the company, other than looking very stoned and high half the time. I don't know if he's going to be in a feud with Rhino now, or maybe he's going to get in a feud with Swann and Mac, because I'm tired of these guys stealing my moves, and he may feel disrespected and everything because of all of this. But very interesting that Van Dam turned on Rhino. So the heel turn, didn't expect that coming. Alicia Edwards went in the back on the phone. Pretty much Ace Austin came in with a towel. Pretty much said she didn't need to be there, but also says when I win this title, said they're going to celebrate tonight. Michael Elgin went against Noamachi Marufuji. I'm going to say Marufuji. I can't get his first name right. One thing I noticed about Michael Elgin's gear, his gear was like very... It looked, I'm not saying it was like Okada's robe, but I feel like it was like the same similar colors to it when he came out, though. and it just very it just looked really interesting to me. Elgin's gear it just looked like Okada's robe from New Japan for some reason. I don't know why, but it was like his own version of it. Marufuji came out then. I got like this gear too, but this was probably one of the best matches of the night. I feel like these two guys went in on each other like big time. Like, you want to see chops real loudly. These guys were laying it in, and you see it live. These two were just beating the shit out of each other out there. Okay, Elgin with that damn German suplex, and then going with a sit down power bomb looked insane. Marufuji doing multiple suicide dives and kicks just looked crazy. Well, I'm trying to remember all the spots that was in there, but because Elgin, I think he took him down with a clothesline and a sit down power bomb, pretty much a kick out. Then I remember fans chanting "Fight Forever." Elgin went for a buckle bomb, but Marufuji out there hit him with multiple like V trigger and knee strikes in on him. Pretty much taking him with a sliced bread. They start trading chops with each other that looked very deadly most of the time. Elgin pretty much closed down Marufuji, didn't have work, and pretty much Elgin went for another power bomb. By the way, went with a buckle bomb, but he got another power bomb on him, but Marufuji still kicked out. Then Marufuji came tried to come back with more kicks, but Elgin and pretty much took like his elbow pad off. And he hit him with like a burning hammer, I believe it was, or like he was going for a torture rack, but flipped him over. It looked deadly, by the way, and pretty much got the pin on him for the 1-2-3. So it wasn't really by Elgin bomb with Michael Elgin. He won like I think it was like it looked like a burning hammer. I could be wrong if that was the move in that, but it did look deadly. I thought this was one of the best matches of the night, though, and I knew it would be because it's Elgin and he's working with Marufuji from Pro Wrestling Noah. I forget that Impact still has a partnership with Pro Wrestling Noah sometimes, because they were really with them for a second, but then it kind of stopped showing up. It looked like. I already heard rumors that they'll be trying to buy Noah. I'm not really going to go into that right now, but I thought Marufuji and Elgin had a great match out there. I figured Elgin was going to go over, especially to make him look strong. But the fans really did enjoy this match. I will say that. They were a little dead for it at first, but it looked like we kind of got hyped up more and more to it, because Marufuji was just kicking out those power bombs, which I was pretty surprised to see too. So I don't think a lot of people expected that to go down. But Elgin getting the win, I kind of expected it, so this was a very, very great match, one of the best ones. Now, to get to an insane match now, X Division title on the line, ladder match. Jake Chris, Tessa Blanchard, Daga, Ace Austin, and AC Romero. I thought they would have added Sabu and Raju to the match since it was a double countout, but they didn't. But Ace Romero made it in. Now, to what I heard last night, Ace Romero signed a contract with Impact Wrestling. I've heard of Ace Romero here and around on the independents. I kind of see him a little in MLW, but I guess he signed with Impact now. And I guess I got to call him AC Romero because we already got Ace Austin, so we don't need two people being called Ace right now. So AC is good. Tessa was super over in this match. I did like Jake Chris's gear, especially the golden draw. He had the all white on. This match was fucking insane. Okay, first off, holy shit, where do I begin with this match? Because immediately these guys everybody just starts super kicking each other. One thing, Romero was he was gonna go for a corkscrew to the outside, running out there, but Tessa and Daga threw a ladder at him, which got holy shit chance. He literally just ran into a ladder that looked insane. Ace Austin hit a back suplex on Chris, pretty much from up the ladder. I'm trying to remember every big spot, but this shit looked fucking crazy out there, okay? Austin and Hurricane Rana pretty much knocking Daga to the outside. Tessa hitting the Magnum or Cold Break on Ace Austin and pretty much drop kicking him outside, and then she tried to set up a ladder, go for the title, but Ace Romero pretty much pulled her down, hit her with a Samoan drop. Romero had tried to get the ladder to go inside, but Ace got it then. Pretty much they started fighting over the ladder. Daga came back in, pretty much leaping, doing a big drop kick on both of them, especially on Romero. Daga had a table set up then. Pretty much, Jake got back in the ring, started drop kicking people. They had this Tower of Doom spot because the ladder was like in the middle of the turnbuckle. Fans chanted, "Please don't die." Hey, I was chanting it too. Pretty much had this Tower of Doom spot going. Romero came for the end with the power bomb. Ace was still hanging on the ropes though as the others went down. Austin pretty much got on top, jumped on Romero, but Ace Romero power bombed him on top of the ladder that was leaning that he set up. He set a ladder up in the ring, which he was going to climb, but he brought a second ladder for more support up for him. So he climbed up the ladder. He was almost there to it. Jake Chris pretty much comes in, gives him a super cutter from midway up the ladder, which looked insane, okay? Tessa and Daga came back in. They climbed the ladders. But Ace Austin came in then, pretty much pushing both of them off the ladder then. Austin climbed up the ladder himself. Doggett came back in with a Death Valley driver on him then, taking him out. But next thing you know, what was it? Daga, he did this looked fucking crazy, and it looked crazy live. He does a Canadian Destroyer on Jake Chris to the ladders outside of the ring, from the ladder he did up top inside of the ring, all the way, running to the outside, on the ropes. Pretty much you're over the ropes onto the ladder on the outside that was set up like a bridge. But he did a freaking Canadian Destroyer on him, which looked fucking insane. I thought he would have killed Jake Chris right there. But Ace Austin pretty much ran back up the ladder, he ran up the ladder and just jumped onto, who did he jump on outside? I think it was Daga on the outside then after he did that Canadian Destroyer then, taking him out. But Romero had set up the ladder then. Tessa pretty much pushed him off, which this is the most fucking crazy thing I've seen throughout the entire night. Especially with man AC Romero size. This guy climbed the ladder. Tessa pushes him off. He lands he looked like he damn near killed him. I swear they killed this guy. Pushes him off the ladder. Falls all the way to the floor, through the table, and the ladder falls with him, landing on top of him. That shit looked fucking... That was like one of the biggest reactions throughout the whole night when Tessa pushed him off the ladder, okay? He fell like freaking hard, alright? And the fans just went next up to it. They start going crazy for Tessa. Tessa gets the ladder. Was about to climb up, but Dave came out trying to stop it. Tessa hit a suicide dive on him. Goes back up the ladder then. But Madman Fulton came out and pretty much attacked Tessa. Got a table inside the ring and was going to put her through it. She tried to do the Magnum, but Fulton caught her. She tried to at least hit a Hurricane Rana, which sent them into the ladder, knocking them down. Tessa climbed back up to the ladder, almost there. Jake tried to stop her, but Tessa knocked him off the ladder, on through a table by not ringside, but inside the ring. Tessa, like she's about to get the championship, but next thing you know, Ace Austin just jumps onto the ladder, gets close to Tessa, takes that baton like Gambit thing he does with the magic trick, hits her in the head with the baton, knocking her to the ground. Pretty much he grabs the rope, the title in, becoming the new X Division champion. This was insane. These guys nearly killed each other out there. I will say that. And hopefully no one was really hurt from this. But, number one, Ace Austin, I'm not mad at that decision. I am glad he won the championship. I have no problem with that. Personally, I think he was probably going to win this, because I'm sure the obvious choice would have been Tessa Blanchard, so she could, a lot of people think she could use the whole option C thing, but Ace Austin, I'm glad he won the title. This is probably one of the most build-up people you have. He's probably one of the most likable people in that whole Eddie and Alicia storyline thing. But him winning the championship, I have no problem with this. I thought they were pushing him in the beginning, so the guy started losing. But the guy just is great on the mic. He's got a great personality out there. I think he's been over in that whole feud, and him winning, I have no problem. And I think Jake would have retained. I wouldn't mind that too. Just the whole golden draw thing could have kept going, because I did like when he had the title. But Tessa would have been the most obvious choice, so I did like that, Ace came at the end with the baton, taking down Tessa Blanchard, because I'm sure a lot of people thought she was going to win, but it gets him big heat, because those people were pretty pissed when Ace Austin won, but I ain't got a problem with that. That was good, man. That was very good. This was a very great ladder match. AC Romero was surprised, but he did good out there also, but I know a lot of people say, well, I don't see an X Division. Hey, man, it's no limits. Anybody can win this title, okay? But Ace, we'll see where this goes with him as the X Division champion. And I guess he will be partying with Alicia Edwards tonight in Chicago, okay? But this was fun. I enjoyed this ladder match a lot, and that was probably one of the most hyped things throughout the entire night. But next was Moose versus Ken Shamrock. Of course, they did the video package. Moose was interviewed backstage with Frank Trigg, as you say, he was ready to fight Ken Shamrock tonight, and talked about several big name, MMA guys came, or NFL, came over and tried to attack him, like Bobby Lashley, but they've been defeated now, or America Top Team. Moose pretty much, he's been trained by the best. Frank Trigg says 100%, Moose is going to win this bout tonight, and why he's going to prove why he's a 5-star athlete, a multi-sport athlete, to pro wrestling. But Moose had I don't know who's rapping for his song, but I guess remixing it. You remember last year's Mount for Glory when he came out, someone was rapping to his theme song also. But I like Moose's entrance live. It is very cool to see. I like the music in general, but they had someone rap for it this time. Like I said, I don't remember the guy's name. He was there last year, was he there last year, Mount for Glory? No, I remember he was there from 2 years ago in like 2017. He performed for Bound for Glory. Yeah. But, like I said, Moose was out there first. Ken Shamrock was next. Let me just say this, man. Ken Shamrock almost still looks the same this many years later. And I believe, to what I heard, Don Callis, I think Ken Shamrock was like, 55 years old? Listen, if that guy is really 55 years old, Ken Shamrock looks fucking great. Okay, as far as WWE never wants this guy back, but the fact that he came back just to do a match with Impact because he was the first ever champion there, Ken Shamrock looks fucking phenomenal, okay? Because the guy does still technically do Bellator fights I've seen in the past few years, but, him just be back in the ring. Ken Shamrock was really going in for this, okay? But don't get me wrong, there was a lot of screwy things in this match, and I'm going to get into it, but first off, they had a face-off. Shamrock had knocked Moose to the outside. Shamrock with a big dive to the outside, which I didn't expect that to happen. That just looked great. Pretty much they got back up. Moose had chopped Shamrock. He was no-selling it. Pretty much went for the eyes at Shamrock then. But, he pretty much took him down. And, by the way, Moose with his own dive, pretty much, they went up to the outside then to the ramp. When they were back in the ring then, Frank Trigg grabbed Ken Shamrock's leg. Moose pretty much took advantage of it then. Trigg also, he had like these cutters, and there's a lot of screwy overbooking in this match. He kind of cut the, the ring, the turnbuckle pad then, expose it. Shamrock did a Hurricane Rana on Moose, knocking him to the ground. He went for the ankle lock then, but, Moose had pulled the referee and knocked Shamrock into the turnbuckle, which looked very bad, by the way, the exposed one. I saw it live. It just looked bad. The ref was down. Moose had hit Shamrock with a low blow. Trigg threw in a chair. Moose was going to hit him with it, which, it almost looked like that was going to be the same spot what him and The Rock did back then, because not Trigg, but Shamrock put his middle finger up then, saying F you, but he dodged the chair shot then. He dodged the chair shot, knocked Moose into the exposed turnbuckle. He went for the ankle lock, but by the way, this guy did 2 dives, by the way, too, but he went for the ankle lock. Trigg got in the ring then. Shamrock punched him, which knocked him back to the ringside. Moose pretty much kicked Shamrock then, and he was kind of hobbling around in the ring from the ankle lock. He went for a moonsault but missed, which I don't think Shamrock was ever near it. Went back for the ankle lock again. Moose pretty much was able to roll out of it then, knocking Shamrock into the exposed turnbuckle. Once again, I think this was the second time he knocked him into it, and it still looked bad. Well, it looked bad the first time, not the second time, but it just looked really bad when Shamrock was trying to run into it. Moose speared him and won the match. Just went on for about 10 minutes. Listen, I didn't hate this match all the way. I think fans did. At first, it was a hard match to follow after the ladder match. Let me say this, too. Now, this match was very built up very well, okay? This was a great way of building this for the past month. But there was a lot of overbooking in this match, from Frank Trigg to the referee getting knocked down to the chair to the just interferences. Just a lot of interferences by Frank Trigg and everything. Did it look botchy a couple times? I like when Moose. I did like when when Ken Shamrock went up, like for Hurricane Rana going into an armbar in, it looked like, but it did look a bit sloppy. The fact that Ken Shamrock did those dives was just very insane to me. I thought that was just crazy out there. But Ken Shamrock was moving, okay? But, you know, even after the match, you know, fans chanted thank you, Shamrock, and they gave him a standing ovation after the match and everything. But it was just a lot of overbooking in this match. You know, did I really expect it to go that long? Not really, but I expected Moose to go over, but I just didn't know how many heel tactics they were going to keep using and Frank Trigg getting involved in there. But I enjoyed it, though. It was fun to see Ken Shamrock out there again. Honestly, it's my first time seeing Ken Shamrock live in general, okay? And I got my chance to see it. So, did I really expect it to be a big thing like that? Nah, it's not like I'm not watching Ken Shamrock in the Attitude Era or even an Impact. But, you know, the fact that Ken Shamrock was just moving like that, he impressed a lot of people out there, okay? I enjoyed the match. I know some people didn't like it, like, oh, Shamrock's too old and all that. But I think he did good out there for what it was, okay? I think Moose and Ken Shamrock did good. But I'm sure it's going to elevate Moose hopefully into something bigger, maybe for a world title shot soon. But I like heel Moose, okay? I really do. But, you know, I expect him to win against Shamrock, though. I just didn't really think about all these, you know, just, interferences and all that. But, you know, overall, I enjoyed the match. It's just overbooked. They also talked about their new pay-per-view, which is, I'm sure a lot of people say this is very appropriate for Impact. I haven't seen these t-shirts around lately, but Hard to Kill, which is going to be in January, the next pay-per-view, which makes sense. Okay, this really makes sense, especially for this company. All right? If it's one thing that it is hard to kill, it is hard to kill Impact. It is hard to kill TNA. And there's been, for years, people have been, you know, almost predicting this company's demise or hoping for this company's demise. And don't get me wrong, there's been times when Impact has been at the bottom to the barrel where I've got worried for them that if I wondered if they were going to still be going front. Because I felt like it's been hard to kill since, like, what, 2014? That's when it got bad to me, especially when AJ Styles and Sting left. And it looked like things were going low and leaving Spike TV and being on Destination America and then Pop TV. And, you know, which wasn't bad when Billy Corgan came in and stuff. But still, too many guys were leaving and going to the WWE then. But it was actually good with Corbin until Jeff Jarrett came in and fucked everything up with that stupid bullshit GFW bullshit. Don't get me wrong, LAX was probably one of the best things they really brought in, but when they got rid of Jarrett, like, thank God they got rid of Jarrett because the guy was a fucking drunk alcoholic, and then they put Don Callis and Scott Moore in charge. Things turned around for this company, and it was like a resurgence, especially in the year of 2018 where we saw a lot of great things. Don't get me wrong, they've had a little bit of up and down this year, and I still think they need to keep some people without losing them because they have some losses this year, like LAX, which I think was a big loss. But if it's one thing I will say, that is true. It is hard to kill Impact Wrestling. It is very hard to kill Impact Wrestling. For the people that have hoped their demise and wanted them to die and wanted them to go away, saying like we don't need them and just like this company needs to fail, the WWE needs to buy them out and take all the talent in the library, they're still fucking here and they're still doing shows, they're still doing pay-per-views. They're honestly in the best spot they've ever been in right now, if you ask me. They got a new TV deal, for God's sakes. So this is a very appropriate name for Impact Wrestling. I'm sure some people say you drop a nuclear bomb on them, the cockroaches and Impact Wrestling will survive. They will survive, okay? So this is a very good name to name the next pay-per-view. Hard to Kill. And it is hard to kill this company. And like I said, you keep hoping they for the demise, but these motherfuckers keep coming back and show you who's boss and prove that you're wrong. So Hey, Impact is still alive today, folks. There's a reason why. But Hard to Kill, I like it. But we got into the main event then. Sami Callihan versus Brian Cage for the World Heavyweight Championship. Of course, they played Callahan's video from Friday. I like that promo he did. He came out. Yeah, he had a good pop out there, especially with his baseball bat, thumbs up, thumbs down. Brian Cage came out like Wolverine. Of course, he's got that Terminator Weapon X thing going on. So he's got like the Weapon X gear and he's got these Wolverine blades and stuff. I got like somebody said, wait, this guy just Callihan pile drived his wife and hit her in the head with a glass bottle. And you come out dressing like fucking Wolverine. Which, by the way, as soon as he took off the gear and immediately got in the ring, Callihan kicked him then, taking him on. I don't know how Callihan bled that fast. I don't know what Cage hit him with, but I know he took those Wolverine claws. First off, I don't know when this was announced as a no disqualification match. I was not informed about this unless I missed something early in the day or a video package or just commentary in general. Like I said, I'm there live, so I don't know. But apparently this was a no disqualification match. Yes, he used the Wolverine claw to blade cut him up. Pretty much then after that, I think Cage was bleeding from his mouth then, or his lip was busted. Cage powerbomb Callihan to the ring post when they're on the outside. Callihan pretty much came back in through a chair. Cage hitting him. Then hit with the Cage several times on him until they kind of got the timekeeper. The table didn't break it first, so Cage had to put Callihan through it 2 times. Cage pretty much got the ringside barricade then and put 2 chairs on top of it. Callihan pretty much hit him in the nuts then after that, and then pretty much knocked Cage, or like power drive him into the into that barricade, knocking him into it, which looked very deadly. Fans chanted, "This is murder." Well, that was murder. Pretty much Callihan beat him with some more chairs. Then after that, Cage had him back in the ring. He deadlifted him in the apron with a German suplex. He tried to go for that F5, but Callihan got out of it then. Cage took him with a big knee, and he went for a pump handle, pretty much backward slam on him then. Callihan twisted it and all that, but, you know, he still kicked out. Callihan pretty much got Cage in on the ropes, and hit him with the spike pile driving in the middle rope then, which still did not work. He went back at Cage and tried to go for an F5, but it still did not work. He had him on the turnbuckle then. He face washed him about 3 times then. He went for 3, by the way, and stuff. But Cage came back. He tried to get Callihan again from the top rope, but Callihan bit his ear. Pretty much was on the ropes. Callihan low blowed him, super kicked him with the cheeky Nandos, and then power bombed him onto that piece of barricade into the corner of the ring. Then still a kick out on Cage. Callihan pretty much got some tacks in, put him in the middle of the ring, did his thumbs up, thumbs down, pile drive Cage onto the tacks, but Cage kicked out at 1. Callihan looked surprised. Cage powerbombed him to the tacks, and then he hit him with the drill claw, retaining the World Heavyweight title. So Cage is still the champion. This was a great main event. Personally, I kind of thought Callihan was going to go over, but then I kind of remember, yeah, he did power drive his wife and everything. So the Cage, in a way, had the win. Pretty much Melissa Santos came out and celebrated with Brian Cage. And after that, as Cage held her up, as the show ended, and you know, with me still being in the arena, I saw Callihan said "fuck you" to everybody. Personally, I thought Sami Callihan was gonna go over. Honestly, I would have went with him being the World Heavyweight Champion. I've said this before. I said that because Cage's whole title reign has not really been that great, if you ask me, because he's been barely here due to injuries, really. So I thought this would have been the time to put the belt on Callihan, but like I said, he power drive his wife not that long ago on the show, so it's almost like Cage had to go over, or he was gonna look like a punk. But honestly, I thought Sami was gonna pick up the win. I feel like every time they put OV in these big feuds, though, especially with Sami Callihan, he ends up losing the big one in the end, and I just thought Callihan really would have won the world title. I wouldn't mind that finish. I was gonna go with Cal. That was my pick for Callihan to win the title. So I was almost kind of surprised when he lost for some reason. But they did have a lot of big spots in the, throughout this match. So there was a lot of big spots, through this entire match, and it was a good ending. I will say that, especially with the tax. I just didn't expect Cage to kick out of one, but we got to use the whole "I'm not a man, I'm not a machine" thing, and he drill claw Callihan for the win, so he still retained the world title. Overall, though, I enjoyed this pay per view. I felt like those 4 hours kind of went by in a way too while I was there, but I enjoyed most of the show. I liked the main event. I really enjoyed the ladder match. I really enjoyed Elgin and Marufuji. Call your shot thing was okay in some doses and parts of it. The RVD heel turn, I'm a little 50-50 on that, but I think it was in a way needed. But I did like the tag match at the same time, too. I'm trying to see what else remembered on this show. Shamrock and Moose wasn't that bad, but it was just very, very overbooked. I will say that, very overbooked match. But, I will say it's Bound for Glory. Do I think Impact did enough to hype up Bound for Glory, especially your biggest show of the year? Yes and no. Now, don't get me wrong. I saw a lot of commercials in Chicago and everything, and they hyped a lot of their shows. But I think they need to hype a little bit more, because there's been more hype for Access TV than it has for, Bound for Glory itself. And I feel like every other day a week, it's like you see more of the Access TV commercials than more Bound for Glory commercials promoting the show. Now, when I hope they go to Access TV, then especially they hyped it as soon as the show ended. When I was about to leave the building, they said, make sure you watch us this Tuesday on Access TV. So be ready to watch that. But hopefully, I hope they have more hype about Bound for Glory next time. If they come back over here, I don't know when they're gonna come back to Chicago again. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be back in the Odeum again. But, maybe some where it'll be bigger and, have a bigger feel to it. I still think Bound for Glory did have a big feel to it. But I felt like it was only some matches I felt that were really built up well for you to care about this show. Between the main event, Moose and Shamrock, I would say the ladder match too, because they did deliver, and I think Elgin and Marufuji, even though they didn't have a lot of hype, they still had a very strong outing out there in the match for it too. But I just think like some matches could have deserved a little more hype, and they could deserve more build up for you to care about and everything. So I feel that may have been a reason, but they still delivered out and on the end. But overall, I thought it was a very great show. I enjoyed a lot of the show. I just felt like something may have been missing. I felt like a little, but the Odeum was loud. People were there. I hung out after the show a little. I didn't really have no titanium package enough to meet anybody, but I still got a chance to. I think the rest of it. I know some people did come out from the back even after they did the meet and greet. They still kind of meet with fans. I was just hanging around talking to people about the show, what they thought about it in general, and mostly everybody enjoyed it while I was there. But I saw Elgin walk out there in the lobby, Callihan, Ace Austin. I saw D'Lo Brown walking at one point. They were just hanging out. Okay, I think Tennille was out there too. But so the rest was just walking around, shaking hands, just thanking fans for coming to the show and everything. This is from my perspective. So I was there. I left and I got home in the next hour. But I'm kind of glad I'm glad I went to this show. I had a very great time. I enjoyed it. It was a very fun show to watch. I got hyped throughout several times. It was a little bit hard to see some of the spots to where I was sitting. Yeah, especially if you're on the hard cam side. You don't know who's going to fall. You got to stand to make sure you see it. But I still had very good seats overall, though. I don't really know how much the Odeum Expo Center holds. I don't know. It had to be at least maybe, 2, maybe 3,000 fans, maybe. I don't know. I'm just taking a guess. But, it looked like everybody, it just looked enjoyable. I will say that. So I was ready for this show. I know people like to say it's not in Chicago, but it is in Chicago. But you know how that whole thing goes when they say they're in Chicago, but they're not really in Chicago and stuff. But it's somewhere in Villa Park, so it wasn't that far of a travel. It's not like I went back to the Sears Center or the Allstate Arena again, like for All Out or whatever WWE show is. Still pretty far in a way. I'm not going to get into the whole travel thing, but I had some difficulties getting there, but I still made it. And, it wasn't that cheap. It was kind of cheap taking Uber too, but, overall, it was good that, I'm glad they picked over for Bound for Glory this year in Impact. I really am, man. It's been a lot of wrestling shows coming to Chicago in general, okay? A lot of wrestling shows. And there's still more coming. Don't know if I'm going to make it to all these coming up in November, but, the ones I've been to recently in the past few months, especially from All Out and now Bound for Glory, I think I'm glad I made the right decisions on going to those things. So hopefully Impact, I don't know what they really have planned for Tuesday. I don't even know what the next tapings are. So this was the only show that was live. I'm sure it's going to be a highlight show this Tuesday with, Josh Matthews and Don Callis pretty much talking about everything and maybe showing like a lot of matches and interviews from the back from Bound for Glory in general and whatever taping they do next week. Personally, for Access TV, I think they need to do this. The next taping they do, I don't know who is it with, but I think they need to do that live. If you're gonna kick it off on a new channel, don't get me wrong, they've been playing the pay-per-views on the channel. But you need to kick it off live, though. But overall, I enjoyed Bound for Glory. I hope you enjoyed this review. I had a great time out there. And we'll see you Tuesday. Maybe next Tuesday when they actually have something going on. Because I think it's going to be a highlight show. But if they want to start off right, they need to start off live. I really do believe that, okay? They need to have a live show, especially when they start on Access TV. So I don't know what's planned for Tuesday. Maybe it is something going on. I don't know. But maybe I will be a review for it. From 9 times out of 10, it'll be next week when they actually have a show going on. I'm glad they're off that fucking bullshit Pursuit channel. I'm sure they'll still be on Twitch if you don't have Access TV. But at least people will have a way to get to Access TV and be more accessible. But I'm out of here. Comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think about this show. Find me on Twitter at Hooded9890. No, it's me, HOD, coming with the news and reviews. No, I am, no, I do. You enjoyed the story, and I am done with this review of Bound for Glory. I'm out here. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.